Welcome back, everyone, to the after show for issue 25 of The Powers That Be. And this one was called Talking in Your Sleep. Another lovely lore dump. Thank you, Patrick, for that. So we're going to go around and do our stars and wishes. And I think this time we will start with ECAT, or the portion of it that you could actually hear.
I think the stars goes to mostly Matt and Trevor and Jean Ray for just continuing with the interrogation and basically being the stars of the show today. Um, wishes stable internet for a change.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
ever get a sponsor, that's one of the first things. Just buy ECAT a better
Right.
internet connection, me a
'Cause
better webcam.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch today's episode because I missed a good 15-20 minutes just from Zoom constantly popping out.
Yeah.
But that's where I am.
Okay. Let's go down to Matt.
It me. Okay,
You.
stars. Well, I do want to actually give one to ECAT for toughing it out tonight under huge circumstances. Um, Not the least of which is the technical difficulties she was having, but um, you know, you were a trooper, so definitely good on you. Sorry if me, Trevor, and Ray took up a bunch of the spotlight tonight. Certainly wasn't my intent to hog that. As far as wishes go, I I don't know. It's interesting to see how it all plays out and how much of my theory crafting is on base or just completely just wild conspiracy theories.
Well, you know the thing about wild conspiracy theories, if they're better than what the GM already has cooked up, they're right.
It's no longer a conspiracy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's go over to Ray. Ray.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, stars, big stars to Trevor and Matt. Just that the witty banter to at least keep things simmering is damn near envious, because like I was quiet for the first 5 minutes because I was just listening to the two of you. Yeah, great for the show. It's like totally in character, totally worth it, and like there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's like I am the leader. I should okay, hold on. And it's like, and, but so that was cool. um Patrick, I'm giving you a stealth star because this was all like banter, 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 banter. Oh, look, boom, and then you plot down the um axis of arrogance in front of us.
Nice.
And then it's more like, oh no, everything's fine. And then like so it's like it was a slow boil until Trevor and I went, wait a minute. And then as soon as that happened, like that ramped up. So that took like, I mean, I guess we could have gone for that at any point in time, but there was enough pre-plot to keep us busy and entertained and everything like that before one of us came to our senses. And that was a good bit of planning.
Yeah.
And yes, actually, many thanks to ECAT for like the whole, I've been hacking the system quiet over here in the background. It's like, thank you. Thank you. You don't always have to be in the spotlight to be effective. And that was really well done.
Yep.
Wishes, uh, I don't know. Yeah, just better internet, tech, fewer technical difficulties, please. But No, that was fun. We got to roll without it being a combat initiative situation.
Yep.
And that's neat.
All right, let's go over to Julie.
Oh yeah, total stars to Matt and Trevor for just the back and the forth, and just and Ray, you kind of sliding in there. Okay, it's like I felt like it was this very subtle. Okay, motherfuckers, let's figure this shit out.
Yep.
And yeah, you have sitting down and using doing the quiet brains, excellent. You get a start for that too, because it is always a good thing. And yeah, and Patrick, as per usual, just that whole organized chaos thing of where are we going with this? Oh, okay. Now I see. Okay.
Oh, look, it's a handbag we're all sitting in. Handbasket.
Handbasket. There you go.
Handbasket. Handbasket.
Words. I have them really.
Yep.
Sorry.
Words are
And
hard.
look, this Russian author's gun, all of a sudden. What? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
No,
the
but
cat that's
I was very much enjoying seeing you guys role playing out and actually rolling all of the intellect and figuring shit out things.
Yeah.
Yes.
It helps round out the character.
Yeah, it's having so many opportunities to make non-combat roles and make non-combat important parts of the story is yet again one of the many things I love about the Cypher system.
Yeah.
For me, I am also going to give a star to Patrick, but mine is for making NPCs that we want to interact with. Because you could, these guys could be, two-dimensional, paper-thin nothings. But like my heart rate goes up, my blood pressure goes up whenever I see that Hex is there. Because Crash just disdains him so much.
Yeah. He deserves to be pounded into oblivion.
Oh, yeah.
He really does.
It was an interesting point for me when I looked at what was going on and said, well, shit, Crash has to give him a little bit of begrudging respect. And he really, he was in my head going, I don't want to do that. I do not want to.
Neva was doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
Oh
He
shit.
was
We
doing
actually
the same thing right before trying to tackle the statesman.
Yeah.
We
I
actually
gotta be a
have to
fucking leader.
be nice to the bad guys.
Right?
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah, because no,
Yeah, and I still think he needs to vet, his underlings and thugs better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah. And then I will echo the star to ECAT for just I've been sitting here. I haven't saying much, but I've been doing my thing over here. Let me know when you want to know what I know. That was a nice way to kind of compensate for the technical difficulties you were having. Because I've been quiet. I've been, in and out of actual communication, but here's what I've been doing. That was a really, really creative and useful reaction to that. So that was awesome.
thank you.
As far as wishes, I don't know. Some of tonight still felt slow, and I'm trying to figure out how much of that was the slow burn that Ray, I think you mentioned earlier.
Yes. Yeah.
and-
Like I had that. It's like this we got to move this along.
Yeah.
How do we move it along? Like where where is it? And then, this is the chess match. This is the chess game that Patrick is playing because he's literally moving the pieces. That's how the drama was created, was literally positioning the characters next to other characters and by certain things. And we had to put the puzzle together to go, oh shit. And then and the obvious part was the acrobus who's he what's with bubbling and bubble and
Erebus.
smoking, Erebus.
Yeah.
And it's like he's not. And that sort of like forced our hand to like, what's going on? Okay, now we have to do something. But yeah, it was the chess game. And I think that I wouldn't call that slow because that's another element.
It
Like,
is.
we couldn't have figured it out. We shouldn't have figured it out until the pieces started moving.
Yeah.
And we've got to allow those pieces to move. Now, I mean, yeah, we could. It's like, oh, I want a perception roll. Okay, sure. You see this and these characters interacting, and that's great. And sometimes that's going to pay off.
Yeah.
And we'll get a jump on maybe what he has planned. But honestly, I think that within the window that we needed to act, it was in the window, maybe a little close to the end.
Yeah.
But we got it done in the window that he wanted us to get it in.
Fair.
And I think that worked.
Yep. Other than that, honestly, just my wish is to see where all the threads end up together. I know Crash's next stop is going to go talk to. I need to go back and see if we ever gave the scientist a name, because I don't know if we did or not. But I feel bad continuing to refer to her as the STEM scientist. So maybe if we didn't, we'll just give her one for next time. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of potential possibilities, and I'm trying to figure out how quickly we're hurtling towards a conclusion to this particular part of the storyline, like a season arc, for lack of a better term.
There's 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in
what
RPGs that could be like 6 months of
right. Is
gaming nights.
that one more game night, or is two,
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
So
That's
And
Patrick.
yeah, finally Patrick.
All right. Yes, thank you very much for recognizing the chess game I was putting you all in. Because that was when I was coming up with tonight, I'm like, okay, well, one of my favorite locations is at Sunbucks. So what I'm going to do is drop in kind of information, the one group right there. And so you have, the 4 villains, the 1 hero, and all of you hanging out in the room. And things are going to get very uncomfortable very quickly because, well, the possible solutions to that included things like if left utterly alone, Lumiere was going to attack Statesman. Statesman was going to grab Matrix and take off out the door and then have her incarcerated, which would have been very bad because that wasn't going to work for him because, unfortunately, Erebus is there. Erebus can teleport anyone anywhere, can phase just about anyone at any point. So the girl would disappear, and then he would want to deal with Statesman. I hadn't quite figured out what he was going to do to him, but it was going to be terrible. Figure if you can move, much like the chess illusion, if you can move things anywhere on the board, you could take a person like him and put him on the moon for a while, see if he can breathe non-atmosphere, or get him really close to the sun, see what his radiation resistance is like. There's a lot of things you can do to make somebody's life really miserable quickly. But of course, he's not that bad a guy. He doesn't think evil thoughts usually much. So for Stars Tonight,
again, Will doesn't.
So for Stars Tonight, I very much enjoyed Matt's various delvings, not only into the situation, but also into the motives behind people, which, like I said, as you bring up the, Will's one thing, but Nebula's another. And are they separate, and how separate are they, and how do they influence each other? And then looking at Jean saying, on the other hand, we have this here as well. So I very much appreciated that, and I very much liked the banter going on between you and Crash. That was quite excellent. And another star for Gene doing the craziest thing possible by
I know. That just
throwing himself at somebody, more or less designed to say he's a paragon, which puts him on the same model that characters like Superman are made after. Although
Yeah.
Superman's not a jerk, this guy is.
yeah, he was literally tugging on Superman's cape. And
Yep.
my
Yes.
jaw was dropped a bit at that moment.
So I'm like, oh, okay, you can try that. Let's see, because that's why I had the attack roll. It's like, okay, if he fails this, he's just gonna bounce off the guy, just like
Yeah.
poof, the floor, like, oh,
Yeah.
right. But no, caught him just so.
Oh, and heaven forbid I would have rolled a 1 on that.
Oh, that would have been comedy gold.
That would that would
Oh.
have been effective, but for an entirely different reason.
Yeah. All right.
How much kinetic energy can you absorb? We'll find
We're
out now.
about to find out
Well,
today.
for that one, I was figuring he was going to step to the side, grab you by the scruff of your neck, throw you out the door and into the mouth of the giant anteater.
Fair.
That
So
would be
eventually
fair.
you'd be recovered once, you know, I guess Trixie let
Yes.
you out.
It
Yeah.
gets pooped out of a mechanical anteater. Yeah.
No, thank you.
So, and for wishes, well, I'm just my wishes for myself that I hope I am kind of bringing up one of the things that I very much like in certain type of literature, epitomized largely by the Dresden Files, is there's never one thing going wrong.
Yeah.
There's never two things going. There's a whole bunch of things all at the same time, some longer term, some shorter term, and they all happen to come to a boil right at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
And
No,
so that's like the atmosphere I'm trying to generate here.
and you're doing an amazing job.
Absolutely.
Mhm, yeah.
Speaking as a GM myself, having that many moving parts and faction subplots going on at the same time in the background is impressive.
Yeah.
And
it
keeping
is a
it-
masterstroke.
And letting us get glimpses of that, and also not dropping any of the plates that you're spinning on all these.
Yeah, I'm very much afraid that at some point I'll forget something very major. Like at some point in the next couple days, you'll probably want to see if you can finish collecting the money to get the gun that you want.
Well, yeah, it's just there's been other things going on except for
Yep.
I figured we'd work in a heist sometime with the Circus King, but that it may just be like, okay, well, we've punched the crap out of him. What's he got in the safe?
I mean,
They have been collecting. They have been collecting
Works
a
for
lot of
me.
money at the gate. So
Yeah.
Everybody pull their allowance to buy Jack his gun.
well, and the other thing that could possibly introduce, because this is one aspect of the system that we haven't really gotten to yet, is the idea of artifacts, which are more like your traditional magic items.
I
in that
kind of
they're-
assumed the way that Patrick described it
yeah,
it is.
there
actually,
there
you
is a
have run
machine-
into artifacts before. You have two parts of one sitting inside of your cabinet in a coffee cup.
But yeah, that might be like trust me, Crash is always down for a good old fashioned heist. So that might be if we need if from a character development point of view, if we need to gear up before whatever the big thing is that happens, a heist might actually not be a bad way to accomplish that.
Yeah.
Because we could go in, especially now that we know that Erebus was the one who recruited the Circus King, which really just chills me to a level I did not think was possible.
Mhm.
Trying to hamstring that whole operation as much as possible has now jumped up on Crash's priority list.
What, you didn't see that one coming? Like, I'm sorry.
No, I honestly, I was expecting more along the lines of what Patrick was saying earlier, was that they were just, completely different plot threads that all happened to go wrong at the same time. So maybe I was giving you too much credit for that. Who knows?
So
Meanwhile,
what's the
Mava was sitting
similarity?
there screaming in her head when Sentinel was going, we don't know how he just showed up. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Erebus is a dimensional traveler.
Yeah.
You idiot. like,
Yeah.
and can you
And
be?
what is the similarity between the Circus King and Erebus?
They're both sociopaths who want to control everything.
And they have symbiotes.
They're both aliens.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. Just like, hello?
I had
And
actually
it turns
forgotten
out
that
the
he was an
aliens
alien.
know each other,
Right.
even if the people that they're with do not.
But she didn't want to bring attention to the fact that she's sitting over there hacking into the Sentinel's tech
That-
system. So
That's fine. Yeah, no, it's
it.
no, that was whatever, how many episodes ago when I think we were talking with Bill about their motivations and stuff, and he was giving the lore dump of how many symbiotes were on the planet.
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, so the Circus King is one of them. So then it was, at least for me, like, yeah, of course, Erebus is.
Yeah. And that I had forgotten that detail. So that was probably part of why that connection wasn't made for me. Because I had forgotten
Of
that.
the ones you know are Jean, Erebus, Circus King, and Lumiere. So you know personally 4 of them.
And only one of them seems to be benevolent. So how about them odds?
Yep.
Mhm.
You got to wonder if Eddie, being eldest and firstborn, knew what the hell was going on
Well, and that
and jumped over first to try and head things off, or if he had second thoughts.
or if, and this was why Crash went down this particular thought path, because he's a paranoid sumbitch.
Mhm.
Is Eddie really on our side? How much of what's coming out of that body's mouth is Jean, is Eddie, is some mix of the two, is something that we don't even know yet? How much of what is Jean is being maybe subconsciously nudged by Eddie, if Eddie's motivations are more malevolent than we are giving him credit for. And at this point, Crash has no idea, so he's erring on the side of don't trust, because that's what he does.
So one thing to remember, I kind of let it slip fairly quickly, is the one thing that Eidolon brought up about them as to what the identities of the original aliens are, from his perspective at least, that he calls them the primal gods.
Primordials.
Primordial, yeah.
And that is at least depending which set you look at, that is a fairly well-known thing, in case anybody wants to do some research and attempt to make connections.
What, besides the whole Typhon being, primordial chaos before the gods, and Titans, that sort of thing?
Yep, because you have the primordials, you have the Titans. Because remember the Olympians are, newcomers.
Yep.
Right.
They're very recent compared that there were 2 generations before them.
Yep.
So that's something fun to look at.
Yeah. So thank you for leaving us with even more questions.
You're welcome.
After the after show.
Yay!
Who's sleeping tonight?
Right?
Not me.
Oh,
And
no, I
I'm
am.
starting to think if we want to do a theory crafting thing, we should probably do that before what goes down in 2 days.
Yeah.
Which in game time, or in playing time, we'll see how long that takes.
Yeah.
But along with, any shenanigans with a pile of goblins.
Yeah.
the question is, do we want to schedule a different night if we can get our schedules to line up to do,
Awesome.
even
A
just like
longer session or something.
either a longer session, start earlier, or do a different
weekend.
session specifically just for
Strategizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will have to take a look at that. But meanwhile, you, the viewers out there, I know you're out there somewhere. Thank you, Moody Blues. Give us theory crafting ideas. Give us your thoughts. Give us, the things you want to see. What side of the line do you want Eddie and or Gene to be on? Who is really pulling the strings, and why is the Liberty League talking about destroying all of humanity and talking about us in the third person? Because that wasn't chilling at all.
no.
Yep. But in the meantime, I think we're going to cut this one here. I think this was a really good one after a really, really good episode. And thank you again, Patrick, and everyone else for that. But until next time, for Patrick, ECAT, Matt, Julie, and Ray, I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Good night, everyone.